he'd like lose his mind.
I understood that not to be just a Yonkers rule. I thought that was a widespread.
About the police department
Yes.
specifically.
How does that differ from the fire department?
I can give you my personal opinion is I don't see the fire department as, there's an enforcement, a different kind of enforcement that goes on with the police department than a fire department.
You have fire inspections, you have, you know.
There are definitely enforcements in the fire department. I think it's a different kind of enforcement that police departments have generally been seen as different, but that's a personal view.
No, that's true. Also, the police are there to keep order on election day.
Right.
There's a definite role that they play that's on election day at the polls if necessary. So that's another distinction. I think Aileen is correct. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that there were statewide rules to this effect also, but I have not had occasion to research it. So I'd have to confirm that for you. But I don't think that the Yonkers Charter here has been enacted in isolation.
So can we ask you to look at the state issues as well as other municipalities around this issue?
I think I don't want to go too far in terms of taking a lot of time to look at other municipalities if it's clear that there's state legislation.
Stop.
That's it,
Right,
yeah.
then if there isn't state legislation, I'll look at, the half dozen biggest cities in the states
Our
normal list.
So moved by Steve, second by Bob. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? So that is the newly submitted items. We do need to make one adjustment per our decision of the last meeting. At our last meeting, we said that we would send a letter notifying folks of an additional time frame. No letter was sent. As I said, Steve and I did not connect, so no letter was sent. It is my opinion that we do not need to send that letter. We sent them a letter. They've all received the letter. They all received the deadline. This was about extending the deadline. I think we should rest at that point and move forward. Why I'm raising it is because this group made a decision to send the letter, and so I would need you to make a decision to not send the letter.
I'm sorry, I blinked, I guess. The letters weren't sent, or they?
The second letters were not sent.
Okay.
Inviting them,
No, not the inviting part, giving them an additional deadline. We wrote a letter to them saying, please send us your information by such and such deadline. By the way, no such rule requirement is necessary to do so, but we did do that. What we talked about at the last meeting, specifically because I had knowledge that at least one person said they wanted to submit something else. We were saying, well, let's make sure they get it in. I'm saying to you now that the one person that I knew that was going to submit it did submit, others have submitted, but everyone has already received a letter asking them to submit. So they have been put on notice. We were talking about giving them a second notice. I'm suggesting we do not do a second notice at this point. Anyone disagree? So I need a motion because we made a motion to do that. So I need one saying.
So your motion is just to do away with the extension.
The motion is that we, as of today, we will send, knowing that we did not send a second notice, we will not be sending any further notices to elected officials to submit items to us, to submit new items.
Okay.
To submit new items. That does not preclude them, by the way. We're not precluding them from submitting them. We're just not inviting them to do so any further. If they submit one at this point, we would need to make a decision whether or not we have ample time to properly evaluate.
And what happened with these four?
We're getting to those.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That doesn't affect those four.
Okay.
So the motion is, knowing that we did not send a second notice, but that we did send a first notice, we will not be sending any further notices inviting people to submit new items for consideration.
They can come to meetings and speak with the public. Right. Yes.
They can do whatever they want. But we're not, all this is about is we're not sending them an invitation to do any more.
That's fine.
So moved. Steve, second by Joe. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. We have these 4 items that we began some process on. 5? 4. You said 5?
I got 5.
It began, I think, it was off this one.
Yeah, Pagano. We had
Pagano was dropped
Murphy,
off for a second, I'm
Cambria,
sorry.
Pagano,
Pagano.
Birch, and McDowell.
Pagano, thank you. I could just make it number 8, just so that I can keep these in order. Who was Pagano again?
Tony Pagano.
Flag.
There we go. Our decision, our desire is to invite these 5 to come speak. Steve has a process that he wishes to propose and timeframe he wishes to propose to invite them to speak at our next meeting, which date is
June 19th.
June 19th.
Can we have, are we going to be able to have a meeting possibly before that if needed, or?
We could have one, but I thought, Julius, you were out.
What do we need to be?
I just didn't know if we need to have a meeting before that. If
For?
we get to review some of this stuff and to invite the city council president to come in maybe before June 19th. Things like that.
Well, I'm sorry, I thought we would invite him to the June 19th meeting.
Right, I know that, but I'm saying, but the problem is, you know, what if he's not available on June 19th? Then we need to give him an opportunity to meet with us. So I'm just, I mean, who knows what people's schedules are like, so I just want to make sure
I
that.
think if they can't make it on the 19th, and they can also send a representative if they can't show up. I have that in this, let me
Okay.
just circulate this, is the proposed memo that I created to be sent out. And I've left blanks on here. And I have some suggestions as to how to fill the blanks in.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Finish it top.
I was, my thought was that, you know, we've given everybody a slot so that they would know when to be here, they wouldn't have to sit around all night.
Yeah, I like that.
And my thought was that it should be, I think that Council President Lesnick's material is probably the most involved and the most lengthy requirement for all the discussion. I thought 40 minutes would be ample. Maybe, you know, again, you guys, if you think it's too much time or not enough, you can change the numbers. I thought that as a courtesy to the other city council member, that she should be next for her proposal, which is somewhat related to some of the proposals that Chuck had. And then I just simply went down in the order of significance of what I thought the city administration proposals are. And I don't think we were going to ask the mayor to come in and speak to his proposals, or somebody from the mayor's office, so that may yet happen in the future. But these are the ones that I thought we were ready to have before us, and my proposal was Lesnick, 40 minutes, McDowell, 20 minutes, LaPerche, 15 minutes, Pagano, 15 minutes, Blanchard, 15 minutes, Cambria, 15 minutes, and Murphy, 10 minutes.
Is 40 too much? 40 is too much.
Okay, so we're gonna knock it down to 30?
25.
I was gonna say the two city council persons, 20.
Yeah.
20 each.
20 each?
Chuck will just have to speak it up.
Okay. And do you want to take these others and knock them down, the Perch, Pagano, and make them from 15 to 10?
No,
Or 15's enough?
I don't think some of them will use all of their time.
I was suggesting that we put them all at 10.
Agreed.
So 20, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Okay.
And then you'll figure out.
Yeah, figure out.
All 10. It'll be 20, 20, and the rest of that.